So you don't have your bike anymore, and you have no interest in getting another fixed gear. Okay. Okay, cool. No worries. See you around. Alright, bye. What's going on, guys? You're watching 63 Fix TV. Now today we're going to be showing you how to locate a puncture on your inner tube, and we're going to be taking apart the wheel and we're going to be replacing with fresh inner tubes. Okay, so things that you're going to need: obviously a fresh inner tube if you don't plan on repairing your puncture inner tubes. These are just cheap from eBay, you can get them for a couple of quid. To take off your wheel from the bike, you're going to probably need a 15mm socket set, unless you've got hubs like mine where you have it's like a female bolt in the hub. So you're going to need Allen keys to take those off. You're also going to need a bucket. You're going to need to fill that bucket with water, and I'll explain why. You're going to need some of these, which are the tire levers, or if you're in America, you'd call them tire levers, spelled T-I-R-E. That's pretty much it. Oh, and a pump. You're going to need a pump as well. Let's get to it. First things first, tip your bike upside down, maybe put some towels underneath the seat, just so you don't mess up your seat. As you can see, this is fucking flat, which is no good. So what you're going to do is you're going to take off your valve cap. The next step we're going to do is we're going to take our tire levers. Now, you see this hook here? That hook is to go on your spokes. You don't necessarily need to. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so using your hands, sort of take off the tire. You could use brute force and do it without, like this. Or, if you find that quite difficult to do on your bike, get a tire lever, thread it underneath the lip, and you hook that onto the spoke there. Then what you do is you take your second lever, hook it underneath the lip next to the one you've already put in, and you literally just go round like that, and then it's pretty much off. Of course, you can just use brute force, and off it comes. I'm going to take my Allen key and take the whole wheel off of the front fork. In this case, I'm changing the tire on the front wheel. Now, like I said before, you might need to use a socket set to take off yours. Oh my god, look how rusty they are. That's not good, is it? I hadn't even left this out in the rain. Okay, so now we've got the tyre and the inner tube still inside, we've got that off. Time to move the bike out of the way. The next step, boys and girls, is to have a little look with your finger and run it round the rim. Just, you're trying to feel for any sharp objects. Be very fucking careful though, because obviously you're using your finger. Nice and gently. You want to check the wall of the rim as well, just in case. Seems to be pretty smooth. So the next step, what you're going to do is you're going to take your inner tube out of the tire. Again, same step as we did before. You need to take your hand, you need to go inside the tire and feel for any sharp objects or anything like that. It's also a good idea to inspect the tyre as well. Bits of glass, nails. You'd be surprised what actually punctures through tyres. Oh yeah, I got a few comments on my last video on what tyres I ride with. Halo Twin Rail, and they are 2.2. So there's the answer right there, 26 inches by 2.2. Okay, now we're going to put the tyre to the side. Okay, here's the next step, boys and girls. What you need to do is you need to go into the kitchen, take that bowl in the sink, take it out, fill it with water, and then bring it out onto the patio. So you've got a bowl of water, you need your pump, and the inner tube that you've just taken off. This is how we locate the puncture. What you gotta do, take your pump, And you just gotta, this is easy, everybody should know how to do this, everybody. What you do is, you just pump up your inner tube. I don't know why this always does this. If I drop it, it'll fill up. Isn't that weird? At this point, two things could happen. You could hear the puncture, you can hear it go, or you hear nothing. And therefore that's why the bowl of water is in handy. Take the pump away, should be left with something like this. In my case, I cannot hear the puncture at all. I can't hear the puncture, I can't hear it at all. So what you've got to do now, you've got to dip this in the water and look for the bubbles. Okay, that was super weird because there was no bubbles and I couldn't find any. The only thing I can think of is that the valve at the top wasn't done up enough so air was still allowed to escape. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to put in a fresh inner tube into the tyre, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang that inner tube up and see if it changes overnight. Experiment. Better to be safe than sorry. So what to do when you've got a new inner tube? First of all, if you're a normal fixed gear rider, yours won't probably look this big. This is a 26-inch, remember? Of course, yours will be a lot thinner and a little bit bigger. But the principles are still the same. Take off the little cap. Take off the shoulder, which is sometimes you might find right there. You should do this every single time you put new inner tubes in. Of course, this is what we call a Presta valve. Some of you might have a Schrader valve. And of course, you might also have the luxury of having both valves in your pump. What we're going to do is we're just going to pump up this inner tube just a smidge. There we go, just a little bit, just to give it some shape, you know. I'm going to have to film that again because it wasn't recording. Yay! Put your tyre half on, half off the wheel first. When you've done that, then you get your inner tube and put it around the tyre. See, I've got it half on and half off. And then I've just put the inner tube inside, right? And you've got to make sure it's nice and fitted around and it's sat inside the, imagine that's the, that's your rim. You've got to make sure that the inner tube sits nice and tucked in and it's not hanging over the edge. Very important. After you've put your valve through the hole where the valve goes, you've then got to tuck it all in and put the other half of the tyre, which is hanging over the edge, and tuck it in. And there we go. We're all tucked in. Now, of course, the difficulty of putting a tyre back around the rim nice and flush like that, it varies. If you've got like a deep V or deep dish rim, because you're a fucking cool kid, you might have a bit of trouble. But for normal, standard rims, should be okay. Something else you can do to just ensure that your inner tube stays up in the tyre is you're just going to poke up your valve right up into the tyre so that you know that the valve goes right up and it hits the tyre wall. Bear in mind that when you do pump up your tyre is check the wall of the tyre to see the PSI that you can pump it up to. There should be a minimum and a maximum. It's the same on a car tyre. Pretty much any tyre should have max PSI. Then pump it up to whatever it says. So boys and girls, there you go. That's how to check and locate a puncture, how to insert a new inner tube, and how to put the tyre back onto your wheel. If this was of any help to you, or if you enjoyed watching the video, press the like button below and subscribe to the channel if you are brand new. If you're new to me, you have no idea who I am, I make videos like this all the time. So as a closing thought, I take a shit most days, and I spend about 9 minutes on the toilet. That's enough time to have a look at other people's YouTube channels and videos and how-tos and stuff. And I keep seeing this recurring theme where everyone seems to take life way too serious. They have a monotone and they sound so boring to listen to and to watch, and it's just like, oh my god. Like, they're so geeky as well. They go into the proper, like, blueprints of a bike and stuff, and that's not... I just wanted to make it clear to you, that's not what I'm about. Of course, like, I've made previous videos in the past where I look like an absolute noob. I look like an absolute dickhead trying to show people how to do something, and I don't even know how to do it myself. But that's how I learn. I learn from showing other people how it's kind of done, and then I hear it in my own head again. But some people just go over the top. Oh, just talking about things like downforce on a bike, and if you ride like this, just so much, like, oh, gear ratio this, and oh my god that, and oh, this is my yada yada yada. If you don't wear a helmet, no, you know what I mean? Just people so boring. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm not like that. I want you guys to know that I'm a bit more laid back about stuff, and obviously I'll try my very best to show you how things are done, but I don't take life too seriously, and I want my audience that I'm talking to be on my kind of wavelength. I'd want to be talking to people like my kind of people. The type of people that are the people that leave hate comments like, oh, that's not how it's done, you might as well do this, and you're not wearing protection, and oh my god, you're not wearing a helmet, and who wears foot straps anymore, and stuff, and it's just like, chill out, mate, just fucking chill, alright? It's a YouTube video. If you don't like it, fuck off. I do it my way. I talk to people on a fucking real level. I don't fill them with garbage, and I don't talk mumble jumble bullshit they're not going to understand. The people that I'm talking to, my audience, hopefully, are people that are beginners, people that are new into the fixed gear industry, or people that have just been a fan of the channel, just a fan of what we do. We fucking go riding bikes and we film each other having a laugh. Do you know what I mean? Don't take it too fucking serious. Do you know what I mean? This isn't my job. This is not what I do for a living. I'm a fucking personal trainer. Do you know what I mean? This is just a hobby, and I don't take it too serious. If I come up with an idea like this, I'll fucking do it. But just seeing some of the YouTube channels and the videos, they take things way too serious. I just wanted to let you guys know. That's not the way I am. That's not the way I do things. You guys let me know if I'm being a cunt in the comments below, and you let me know when I'm doing a good job, so I appreciate that. I'm glad I got that off my chest. That is no means, by the way, to go off and go and look for these people, because they're fucking out there. But don't go over and don't give them loads of hate. It's not about that. And there's not a particular... There's a few people out there that I've watched, and I've not spent too much time on their channel, because just by watching a couple of videos, I get their general vibe is that their audience is someone who's fucking 47 and still rides a single speed and has a mustache and a fucking race cap. They go to coffee shops and spend about $11 on a coffee. Anyway, the rant is over. Until next time. Again, stop taking life too serious. Stop cringing me out. Just enjoy life. Ride a bike. Nothing more needs to be said. Ride your bike. Stop telling everybody about it. Fuck off.